The growth of Rupert Murdoch's empire spans 8 decades and 4 continents. A life that's been one of wealth, power and influence, but now at the age of 94, his final and maybe most important deal is done. The long-simmering family feud over who will inherit his mantle and take control of the media conglomerate inspired the HBO series Succession.
He's non-responsive?
Yeah,
Is he talking? Can he talk?
Is he breathing?
But while the children of Logan Roy vied for power after his death, Mr. Murdoch wants to ensure that he's the author of his legacy when he still has a pulse. It began when he tried to wrest away company voting rights from 3 of his 4 eldest children in favor of his oldest son, Lachlan. The others took him to court in Nevada and were successful. But that was just the battle. Murdoch has won his personal war against 3 children. Prudence from his first marriage and Elizabeth and James from his second. They will cede all interests in the business. In return, they get a payoff, $1.1 billion each. Quite a decent nest egg. It leaves Lachlan to take full control of his father's empire, an appointment more about ideology than the old-fashioned tradition of oldest son and heir. That's because Rupert Murdoch views himself as a protector of the conservative voice in the English-speaking world, with his media assets, especially Fox, as the ultimate sword.
What made you think that this whole thing would work?
I just had a hunch that, there was a room for another point of view and another service.
Donald Trump's favorite cable news channel never stops flickering across White House screens, and its audience has also mushroomed across America. Yes, Murdoch's newspapers, broadly speaking, slant to the right. The Sun used to make or break prime ministers. But it is the usually conservative Wall Street Journal that is giving President Trump his biggest headache at the moment.
And thank you to my very good friend, Rupert Murdoch. There's only one Rupert that we know.
From friends to foes, the Trump-Murdoch feud could be defining for both. Well, joining me now from New Jersey is Claire Atkinson, who's working on a new biography of Rupert Murdoch. Claire, great to have you on the program. Before we talk about Trump and Murdoch, let's talk about the kids. How did Rupert Murdoch manage to outmaneuver, the 3 siblings who were all, plotting against him just last year successfully?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. These negotiations have been happening for 2 years. It's dragged on. It looked like Rupert and Lachlan were losing in court. The probate commissioner sided with the 3 kids that the irrevocable trust had to remain in place. And then, surprise, surprise, last night after the market close, we see that there's a deal. But the 3 kids on the other side are exiting the company. They won't be allowed to buy shares in the company that they grew up in. And so, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering if Trump suing their dad perhaps united them as a family against outside attacks. And I think kind of in respect to your coverage of Epstein and Trump and Rupert, the big question is, could Rupert Murdoch's outlets blow up the Trump presidency?
Or maybe Trump could blow up their budget. So maybe the kids took the $1 billion or dollars, I'm sorry, because they thought that if there's a lawsuit that Trump wins, and he's won all the other lawsuits against media companies, there might not be any money left for their retirement.
Well, Fox is doing quite well right now. Fox News' audience is huge. That plays into the stock price. The stock price is up 29% this year. So Fox is actually doing very well. The question is that back and forth, the lawsuit that Trump is suing the company and Rupert for $10 billion, as your editor said there. What happens now? It feels like the Wall Street Journal scoop has proven correct. All of the details are out there now. And so, what happens next here? It'd be interesting to see.
So in that feud between Trump and Murdoch, if it is indeed a full-blown feud, who are you betting on? Who's going to win that one?
Well, I would put my money on Rupert, and that's based on all the research that I've done for my book over this past 2 years. When he swings away from a leader, those leaders do not hang on. And I can cite many, many examples from, the famous Gordon Brown headline, Labour's lost it. I don't know if you remember that. There's Gough Whitlam in Australia back in the 60s and 70s. The company actually went on strike after Rupert's papers came out against him. And so I think when Rupert decides it's over, it's very hard to fight, although the caveat to that would be that Fox News audience is still very much behind the MAGA movement.
But forgiving Gordon Brown for a second, Donald Trump is more powerful than Gordon Brown was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he is looking to control every corner of the US media landscape, to control the banks, the Fed, universities, law firms, you name it. He's out to imprint his control over every institution you can imagine.
Fascinating stuff. Claire Atkinson, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.